Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Well, this is going to be the big eclipse reading here. Um, I did have some people ask what the general energy would be like with the eclipse. So we'll lead off with that, and then we will get a little bit more Trump-centric with it, shall we? And how it might impact things going on with him. So, 30 seconds in, without further ado, let's jump in. What's the energy of the eclipse going to be like on the general collective, say in the United States? Entertainment purposes only and all that. I'm kind of curious. All right. General energy. U.S. Eclipse. April 8th. Tomorrow. King of Cups. It's going to impact people's emotions. Almost like at a real high level, whether it's altruistic emotions or not learning to control your emotions. Kind of like expect there's going to be like some male version of Karening type of thing. You know, some people are just going to be pearl clutching, losing their freaking minds. Now, that doesn't mean in general tomorrow. It's that unfolding energy. I think you're just going to see you're going to see some people really rise up and be leaders, and other people are probably on a lower energy, are going to dive down and just be beyond themselves. Crossed with the Seven of Wands. Underneath is the Two of Wands. Okay, people are going to be working through a lot of tasks, overcoming obstacles, as it were. So, again, on a high energy reading, I'll read this as high energy, then I'll come back and read it as a low energy, okay? Some people are going to, they're going to take a step back and look at the big picture, a little more altruism, if you will, and they're going to look to see, okay, where are my energies best directed? What personal things do I need to overcome that, now it's time for me to start doing this. I've been planning for a while. It's almost like the energy of this eclipse gets some people off their butts and doing stuff. Okay. In the past, you've got the Six of Swords. We've been through a lot. I would certainly say with the number of subs, by the way, welcome all the new subscribers. With the number of subs I've had in the last 2 months, there's been a lot of anxiety out there with what's going on in and around us. And, it's kind of the getting out of that rough water and the anxiety and moving to something a little bit calmer. And once you can get to that calmer thing, it allows you to get out of the fight or flight mode and into the higher thinking and higher reasoning mode. And now it's like, literally sitting down, it's like, okay, what were all the things that were causing me stress back here? List them all up and let's start knocking them down. Maybe hit the easier ones to knock out first and then work your way through the issues that you're going to be working through. The current energy, so it's basically working through your karma, working through problems so that they don't repeat themselves. You don't want to go through this tumultuous period again. So let's start addressing the issues, start tackling them, knocking them out so that we don't have to repeat these lessons over again. Overarching energy is the Two of Coins. Wealth versus health. Sometimes it's simplifying, getting things out of your life that are causing the topsy-turviness over here. Look at it, because we're going from turbulent waves to turbulent waves, and you want to get out of that. You want to work your way past that to something calmer. So you might have to give up some things. Simplify your life a little bit. And that could end up helping. Again, I think the eclipse might help some people once they're in charge of their emotions to start looking at the things that were causing anxiety and decide, is it really worth it? This could be relationships. This could be material possessions. Just anything that you've got that's causing complications. Maybe you're looking to simplify. The lesson to be learned is the Page of Cups. It's like a reevaluation of your relationships or the way you look at things or the way you do things. Whether it's, the people that you hang out with, getting into internet flame wars with people on the internet, people in your life that are toxic. It's kind of that reevaluation of why would I want to engage crazy people? Crazy people make my life crazy. And I'm tired of a crazy life. Maybe I need to get rid of those things. And it's kind of a mixed bag because you don't necessarily want to shut people out. It's good to be inclusive, but maybe it's more that recognition of some people are just toxic. And no amount of trying to find common ground, reasoning with them, getting the benefit of the doubt, it doesn't matter. For some people, it just doesn't matter. They don't want to be understood. They don't, they just want to have grievances. And some people are just energy vampires. They're into the drama. And do you need that in your life? And it's okay to take a break from it. And in some ways, the longer you take a break from it, the less likely it is you're going to go back to it, because why would you want to do that? Another way to look at it is like if you had broken up with somebody and you're upset about the breakup. And I just heard this, I think it was Next Soul Level podcast, that same one with the Ben Gurion Canal. And then a couple years later, you're like, I was going to marry that person. That person was completely nuts. So dodge that bullet. It's that kind of thing. Sometimes when you get the toxic people out of your life, or you put them on a pause for a while, you see how much calmer your life got and how much, you de-stress. And why would you want to bring that person back in? You don't have to. That's the thing. You don't have to. And if you do, you can really put them in a box so that they're between the rails. And if they start going out of the rails, you walk away. Outcome is the Ace of Cups. I think by getting a firmer grip on your emotions, you become emotionally more mature. And how about this? Emotionally more available. For the people that do have value in your life, that you want to keep in your life, the ones that are worth fighting for, you're more emotionally available to them because you're not spending this energy on other people. Now, I was going to say, let's look at this at a low energy reading. These are people that are just going to... these are the ones that are screaming at the retail store workers type of thing. The road rager people. The people that, I thought this was America. Where are my freedoms? That crowd. They might get even more aggressive because it's almost like they feel like they're losing grip in their world. The world is moving past them. And they're trying to hold on to their values and the way that we did things in the 50s, whether it's the 1950s, 1850s, 1750s, or 950s BC. They're fighting for that. They don't like this change. It rocks their boat. It rocks their world, which is why they're fighting it, and they're getting more emotional about it because the world's leaving them behind and they're scared. Change is going to happen. They don't like change. Change means they have to adapt. That takes a lot of energy. They don't have it in them. They have a lot of energy to fight, but instead of fighting, use that energy to evolve, they're using that energy to dig their heels in and not evolve. I guess they talked about the 3D and the 5D worlds. These are the 3D world people, I guess. Overarching energy is that Two of Coins. They're looking at it like their values are being eroded, that they're being devalued because the things that they like in this world, the things that they think are worth fighting for, are going away. as people progress on and progress is moving forward. So those conservative values that they keep fighting for, they feel like it's being eroded away. And they don't know they don't know how to handle that because they're not wired for change. And so they'll ridicule the things that are changing. They'll do put downs. They'll say that you're crazy. They'll gaslight. They'll take all their fears and they'll project them onto other people because they don't know how to handle it. They don't know what to do with this, and they're going to become more emotional, more angry, more outbursts. I would expect that if you're on TikTok and there's the Karen videos, as they were, men and women yelling at retail workers, or somebody's flying an LGBTQ flag and they're out there protesting, trying to rip it down and harassing the people with the flag. You're going to see people like that acting out a bit more. Probably it'll last a couple of weeks. People are going to lose their minds, just like Donald Trump is going to lose his mind. People are going to lose their minds during this time. It's just going to hit them hard. That's what I'm seeing with this energy here. I'll do a little four-carder on the eclipse itself with just the general energy. It's how long is it going to go? Just a little bit more information. The intensity, the duration, and impact, sort of the widespread impact. Just a little four-carder. Oh, there we go again. Intensity, duration, impact. Oh, God. Oh, man. Nothing like having 3 major arcana in a 5-card reading. It's going to impact people's emotions. Their emotional maturity is going to be under assault. But what it is intensity, duration, impact. The intensity, it's going to be intense. It's going to be really sharp and powerful intense, and it's probably going to impact men more than women. I've got 2 king cards here. Duration, we've got a 1 here. No, infinity sign. For some of these guys, for all they've known for their entire lives is that sort of toxicity type thing. And they're not willing to let it go without a fight. But at the same time, to me, this looks like, it's going to be like a week to a month, somewhere in that range. It might spike in a week, but it'll probably taper down slowly over a month's time. People, you've got the tools to deal with this. Do you have the skill and the mastery to utilize these tools to deal with this? Impact the Fool. It's going to impact a lot of people, young and old, on this one. But I think young and old people are going to handle it differently too. Young people tend to be a bit more emotionally available and accepting. And look, here's the sun here in the corner too. This is after the eclipse. I think some people are going to feel free and liberated. Again, the ones I think that are the higher energy, that are going to look at their problems and start addressing it, they're starting a new journey. They're going to manifest something good. The ones that have lower energy, well, they've got some really hard decisions to make there. Underneath it all is the Devil card. It's what you make it, and it's going to really impact people's relationships. The incels out there are going to be even more incel. The Andrew Tates of this world are going to be even bigger potatoes. That sort of thing. This is like your opportunity to reevaluate and unchain yourself from bad habits. You've got the opportunity. It's like the eclipse gives you that opportunity to really stop and think about what you want to do, make your decisions, make your choices. Do you want to keep down the same path, or do you want to start a new path? That's the additional stuff that's going on there. So it's some short-term stuff and some long-term stuff. Again, short-term stuff, just try and give people a little extra space, both emotionally and figuratively. So, like, if you're driving on the road, try not to tailgate the guy in front of you. Because, that's going to be one of those things where that person's going to be all aggro. If you're driving on the freeway or on the highway, you might move over to the right lane. Take your time a little bit, move over to the right lane, and let the crazies pass on the left. The last thing you want to be is a boulder in the left lane holding up some guy. Even if the speed limit's 70 and you're going 80 or 85 and there's some guy in a pickup truck riding your butt because he wants to drive 100, move over. Even if you're passing everybody on the right, if you can find a place to move over and let that guy through. Because he will make your life miserable because he's miserable and he wants to drag somebody down drag him down into his little rabbit hole of hatred and despair. So he's got some company. All right. That's maybe not the greatest example, but, give some people some space over the next couple weeks. That doesn't mean if somebody's harassing a grocery store worker and you're going to stand up for the grocery store worker, that's fine. You can do that. But, some people are just going to have a hard day and you don't know what they're going through. All right. Ooh, a car went flying through, was it? Queen of Wands. Letitia James. Now, Donald Trump. Donald Trump was born under an eclipse, so I'm told. And we've had the lunar eclipse and all sorts of mysteries. That's kind of interesting, huh? Get my lime-infused seltzer water in there. Not a margarita. Donald Trump. Yes, lunar eclipse. So he posted a bond. And it's all sorts of murkiness with that bond to the point where it doesn't look like that bond's going to be accepted. And, just a Truth Social came out and the stock price is tanking big time. I think it closed at just a tick above $40 a share after hitting a high of nearly 80. So it's off about 50% from its highs, and it's down about 20 or 25% from its initial public offering. I don't know if it's really initial public offering. From when it got bought out by the SPAC. Likely to continue going down. He's got court cases coming up with the election interference case in 2016, otherwise known as the Stormy Daniels hush money payment case. He's got Eileen Cannon with Mar-a-Lago. He's got the January 6th case where they keep trying to get Fonnie Willis kicked off of it. He's got the January 6th insurrection case with Judge Chutkin. Not a small amount of stuff going on in that man's life. Let's go see what the criminal case... Actually, let's just ask, what's the eclipse going to have the impact on Donald Trump? Okay. Let's see. King of Swords. Well, it could be an intellectual impact, or this could be, your Jack Smith and your legal cases coming. Let's see what we've got coming up. That was also the that signifier card on the eclipse in general. I guess he's falling under there's some big time decisions that need to be made by Donald Trump here. And yeah, he's collecting all the low energy cards here about the crazy relationships. Not good. King of Swords. Swords are about intellect and power and projection. So I think what we're going to see with him is an intellectual decline into crazy town. He's been talking about crazier and crazier stuff all the time, and he's had word salads that he's been throwing out there that he's looking confused with things. So I think that's part of the problem coming in. Underneath it all is the Ten of Swords. Things are coming to an end for him. He's like a drowning man. He is literally like a drowning man. He has always made the courts his little personal playground. That's right, how he's always manipulated things. But now he's to the point where he's made so many waves in this small pool that he's actually drowning himself. And he can't stop. He can't undo. More and more court cases come on. There's too much for him to mentally deal with that he's going to start shutting down. I do think Jack Smith is also playing a big part in this man's life, and just keeps popping all the crazy stories that he's got. But let's just leave this. Trump's intellect and his intelligent decisions are getting more and more questionable as time goes on, because again, he's like a turd circling down the ball. He's done. We're just waiting for the glug 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 at the end. In the past, the Two of Wands, he's always been able, I think, to sort of kind of look forward on things, or this is kind of a delay card. I can always just kick the can down the road. I can keep kicking the can down the road. And, looking towards the future, where the future is all those court cases, like he's kicked all these court cases down the road. But it's like there's no more road left. And now he's going to have to start dealing with them. And that's a problem, because he has never planned on dealing with these cases. He just plans on kicking them down the road and never having to deal with them. Current situation is going to be a decline in health as well as wealth. I've often commented that his self-worth is equal to his net worth. As the eclipse goes on, we're going to start finding more and more about Trump's finances. For instance, he couldn't make the $450 million bond, and that got reduced to a $175 million bond, and he seems to be having a problem finding a legit company to help him with that, to the point where, like Sterling was predicting, he's going to have to get money from overseas to help him with this. But it's all indicating that his net worth really isn't what he claims it to be. Further, I think we're going to see a decline in his health. And remember, these cards form an infinity. He's got too many balls to keep up in the air. He can't do it. He's not as skilled as he was when he was younger. And when you kick at a mental and an emotional decline with this guy, you're going to see a health decline too. As his money declines, his health is going to decline. Yeah, he's going to crazy town. Trump has never been a man of integrity. Never, ever, ever. Which is the most amazing thing, because con men rely on this presentation of integrity. And I guess with Trump, it's always been, I'm this incredibly wealthy person. I'm like one of the most wealthy people in the world. Look, I'm on the Forbes 400 list. And some people just buy into that, and they give him credit, integrity, where he deserves none. But it's all been a fallacy and a fantasy. And he's more and more falling into his fantasy world. Again, that Page of Cups type thing. He's losing track of Earth 1.0, and he's more and more into Earth 2.0, where I read this in a headline. I never actually read the story because it wasn't worth my time or effort. Trump was saying something like the appeals court said he won. Won what? I didn't read the story, so I don't know what it said on it. It probably, just like he tries to tell his base that, the courts they acquitted him, total exoneration for the Mueller report or for E. Jean Carroll or something along those lines. And that's not what the Mueller report said. That's not what the courts ever said. So he's going more and more into his fantasy world here and leaving the real one far behind. Lesson to be learned is that Ace of Wands. It's going to be that big event. There's going to be a big event, a big emotional outburst. This might be Donald Trump's last big push. It's like he gets one more chance to hit the ball with the baseball bat. And this is it. This is your last big push, your last big chance here type of thing. Outcome is the Temperance card. Healing, nurturing, detoxification. If he gets, this is his last chance to really pull out of the fantasy land that he's in and get back in touch with reality and accountability. Now, there's nobody, pretty much nobody on this chat here or anybody watching this that really sees this happening with him. It's just like he's too far gone. So what that Temperance card and that Ace of Wands could be is that could be that big health event that's coming, and that it slows everything down. Mind you, he won't be able while this court case is going. He cannot go on the campaign trail. He's going to have to be in court 4 days a week or 5 days a week. So that's going to slow his roll. He's going to be relegated to posting up on Truth Social. I'm wondering if he'll have his midday press conferences where, he'll do his midday press conferences, I'm sure, and talk about, just defame everybody in that courtroom. But this court case here, it's effectively a documents case. They've got the documents, and the star witnesses, they're there just to flesh out the story, to connect the dots. The skeleton, the frame is all there. This is just adding color and fancy things to it. But the bones, the meat and bones, are already on this case. How will this eclipse impact Trump's court case here? I always forget about Karen McDougal being in this one. Stormy Daniels is going to be the one that's going to be the ball buster in this one. But how's this court case, this eclipse, going to impact this court case here with Donald Trump? Knight of Wands. Slow progression. I think it's basically the information comes out, the actions, the timeline, everything is just, it's just going to proceed at its pace. Donald Trump has tried to delay this case as much as possible. Judge Merchan is not going to let that happen. Things are going to proceed. Judge Merchan is in charge. He's calling the shots. Donald Trump is not calling the shots here. Part of this might be the gag order. I think Judge Merchan's also going to keep this case tightly under wraps. And again, it's a money case. It's who knew, what was in their hearts and minds, and what actions did they take involving this. And there's documentation everywhere. But I think Judge Merchan is going to keep this case buttoned down tight. This also reminds me of the gag order too. In the past, Queen of Swords. Yeah, he has absolutely made rulings on it. He's very black and white. When Trump goes out of his lane, he brings him right back in line, asking how the eclipse is going to impact this case. So far, for like Judge Merchan, it doesn't look like it's really impacting anything. It's like in control, keeping things in check. Solid decisions being made, very black and white, explaining, the consequences if you don't follow the rules. The current energy is the Tower. This is going to be a really tough case on Donald Trump. This is going to be a very tough case on him. This Tower is not the case is falling apart. I think this Tower is, Donald Trump is falling apart because it's, again, Trump Tower coming down here. It's blowing the lid off of yet another fallacy in the Trump mythology. that we're going to see here. Uh, People will just start. People who are watching and want to see are going to hear stuff that they didn't want to hear or is novel to them, shall we say. But this is going to be just another chunk taken out of another chink in the armor of Trump that's going to take things out. The overarching energies of the Page of Pentacles, they followed the money. Trump, there's no defense for what he did. No matter what story he comes up with, we've got people to counter that. In the end of the day, it's a campaign finance fraud case or a fraud case because Michael Cohen took a loan off of his home equity line of credit to pay this off. But Trump could be linked to the money. It's about the money that was paid to Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal. It's about the David Pecker with National Enquirer catch and killing these stories. Everything just makes sense. It flows nicely, and there's really no excuse for it. I had some schmuck come on my comments and said Trump's in an open marriage with Melania. That might be true. That might be true. She may not care who he sleeps with. And she probably at this point absolutely does not sleep with him and does not want to sleep with him. And if he wants to sleep with any other woman, she's okay with it because he revolts her. But at that time, when she's delivered his baby boy, she may not have felt the same way. And if Trump is saying, well, he didn't want Melania to find out, if you're in an open marriage, it doesn't matter if Melania finds out because it's an open marriage. Unless, of course, the agreement is, okay, it's an open marriage, I just don't want to hear anything about it, and now she's hearing things about it. The dude's 70-something years old. 77? Stop making excuses for him. He's a grown-ass man. Let him suffer the consequences of his choices. If he wants to, pay her off doing stuff like that, that's fine, but not during an election. Lesson to be learned, 5 of coins. Asking about the energy. I'm really not seeing a lot that the eclipse is doing per se to the trial. The trial looks like it's going to progress just like the trial is going to progress. It's about the payments that were made, the payments that were illegal, people paid to be quiet, that information not making it out, that valuable information not making it out to the voters. People might have had a change of heart of who they were voting for. Mind you, this was like soon after the whole grab 'em by the hoo-ha Access Hollywood tape came out. And this would just reiterate that Trump's a pig. And maybe at that point, especially the evangelical voters, may not have supported him. Broken vessel and all that. Outcome is the Queen of Cups. I think what we're going to have here is a lot of Donald Trump's secrets are going to be out of the bag. With the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Stormy Daniels' testimony about how quick Donald doesn't last. The money that's paid, the threats that were made, and then she's going to spill humiliating secrets on him. Really, and I think that's part of the reason why I don't mention Karen McDougal, is I really think Stormy Daniels is the one. She's just going to humiliate him. She's going to humiliate him with stories of what happened. And he's not going to be able to handle it. Donald Trump cannot handle a woman getting the better of him. Much less a colored woman. Not that Stormy Daniels is colored, but Letitia James, Fonnie Willis. Oh, they're driving him nuts. Judge Chutkin, they're driving him nuts. He can't handle it. And now you're gonna have a porn star coming up there. I'm curious if Karen McDougal is going to be a bit more subdued in her testimony. I don't think Stormy Daniels is going to hold back on that thing. Okay. Now 35 minutes into it. Trump's health. How is Trump's health going to be impacted by this solar eclipse? How is Trump's health going to be impacted by the solar eclipse. If that King of Swords has anything to do with it, it's going to be mental health. His ability to communicate, to think clearly and logically. What's Trump's health? I'm trying to mix these cards up to see if anything starts wanting to stay on the top. But it looks like they're going to be well mixed regardless. Nothing wants a bias. Let's see what we got. Trump's mental health. How is it impacted by this solar eclipse? Messaging. Whatever happens to him, actions are going to happen quickly here. Stuff's going to happen quick. Messaging about actions taken. Taking a trip. It's almost like, he might, it's going to have to be after the court case, or let's see. Will it delay the court case? I'm trying to read into the court case is going to be like 8 weeks or something like that. We've got an 8 card here. Messaging. It's almost like, I think it's going to happen after the court case. If he has a health issue, there's going to be something that happens like right after this case. He's going to take a break. He's going to take a journey. He's going to go somewhere. But we've got the Seven of Swords underneath here. Something is going to be taken away, or he's sneaking off or something. I mean, I don't know if this is when he's going to try and sneak off to Saudi Arabia or something like that. But asking about this, how the eclipse is going to impact his health. Something's going to happen quickly. There's going to be some messaging about some loss here. What are we going to get? Knight of Pentacles. There might be some health issues that start cropping up prior to the end of this trial. Maybe there's some days he can't make it because he zooms in because he's not feeling well or something like that. Pentacles are about wealth and health. This could be an offer of money or something like that reaches out to him. But let's read that as health. There's going to be some messaging about his health during the trial. Oh, there's going to be a lot of stress. Okay. Drunken Hillbilly Brawl. I think the trial itself, this guy is going to be under a ton of stress. Again, he's got so much going on in his world. Picture his blood pressure just absolutely shooting up. Shooting up and shooting up. All this stress, all this anxiety, all this fighting that's going on. The eclipse energy is going to hit him emotionally, and he's just going to be lashing out. And he's going to be he's going to be stuck in this court case for like 2 months. Hearing stuff, and people are hearing stuff about him that he does not want out there. And he's stuck. He can't do anything about it. He's gag ordered. There's not much he can do to impact that. And he might get further gag ordered about talking about this case. I'm not sure how that all is going to work. But just know that he's under a lot of stress. Not only from this case, but everything else that's going on in his world. More wands, more energy. All eyes will be on Donald Trump. I would say in the next couple of months, certainly we're going to be through June. He's going to have victories in primaries, even if he doesn't show up to campaign there. He's already the victor in the GOP primaries here. I don't think this is him getting a victory in the case. To me, this is it's like he's going to make it through this case but we're progressing here. We're going to the 5 to the 6. You got the 8 underneath here. He's going to make it through this case here. But again, we have some progressions, health progressions, and just sort of attention issues. Oh, there's the anxiety. This guy, again, he's under a lot of pressure because he's always out there claiming he's going to win. Always claiming he's going to win the whole time. And when you're out there saying you're a winner and you don't lose, you're causing yourself a lot of struggle you don't need to go through and a lot of anxiety, because how do you back it up when you do lose? And he's going to try and get away with things. Page of Pentacles. It might start off as a minor health issue. There might be a health issue that's starting now with him, that's progressing. But there might be messaging during this trial or after this trial about Trump being exhausted and just needing some rest. He needs to get away for a while here. He's been under a lot of stress. He just needs a break. I think that's how it's going to start. That's how the messaging is going to be. He's a fighter. He just needs to take a break. Kind of like if he was the president, I'd say he's going to Camp David. But I don't know where Trump goes to relax. Mar-a-Lago doesn't, normally I would say, Mar-a-Lago sounds like a place he would go to relax. But it's like that's where he does all his business. It doesn't seem like it would be a relaxing place. You know what I mean? George W. Bush had his ranch that he went to, or George Herbert Walker Bush. I think they both had ranches they went to. President Obama could go to Hawaii to visit relatives, or again, I don't know where folks like that went. I don't know where the Clintons went, but he's going to need. It's going to be a break. So expect that he is going to retreat to Mar-a-Lago, because I guess Mar-a-Lago might be closed by that point. I guess that would be Bedminster. In June, maybe it's Bedminster he goes to. Because I don't think he spends the summers in Mar-a-Lago. I think he does the winters there. He's only allowed to stay for a certain amount of time before he goes to Bedminster. But it's going to be, I think the health issue has already started with him. We're just going to get a little bit of tidbits about it at the end of the trial. Spirit, can you elaborate a little bit more on the health issue that they're going to be messaging about at the end of this trial? Let's see. A little four-carder. Heartbreak, betrayal. It's going to be heart-related. Again, it's a race between his mind and his heart, but I think it's going to be heart-related here. Could be a little minor heart attack type of thing. Oh, good Lord. Bringing this man to an end. These are terrible. Stress, all the anger and everything along those lines. Oh, wow. Sneaking away, getting away with it. This might be... Somebody had thrown it out in the comments, and I kind of liked it. He had COVID, and he might have long COVID. And this just could be the wearing down of his mental faculties and such due to long COVID. There's going to be, again, I don't know if it's his heart or his mind, because you got the heart here and the three swords are piercing the mind. But I'm going to say it's going to be heart related, because he feels like he's been backstabbed and betrayed. And he's just livid with rage over how dare these people, the Michael Cohens, the Stormy Daniels, and Letitia James, all these people betray him. Nobody supports him. He's so freaking angry. He's just, again, the eclipse is affecting people's emotions, and it's going to affect his emotions hard. It's going to be, his blood pressure is going to be through the fucking roof. Pardon me, I just dropped an F-bomb on you guys. But it's like he's been getting away with it, but it catches up to him, and it just wipes him out. Whatever this thing is, we're going to get little bits. It's going to lay this guy out flat on his back or face down on his stomach. Not only do you have the betrayals, but then you have the ending too. So it's not only people close to him, but people all around him. They're just, it's undoing. His relationships and his agreements are just, his life is unraveling. This is when Melania is going to hit him with that divorce. Now there's your betrayal. Melania divorces me. I'm found guilty of multiple felonies and stuff along those lines. There's just, after this trial is done, he's toast. So something really breaks his heart, breaks his mind, but he's. I should pause it and say, high blood pressure. What does that cause? Is that going to pop a blood vessel in his brain, or is that going to cause a heart attack, or is he going to have both? Maybe the reason why he can't tell is that he has both. Oh my God. Okay, maybe let's see, I could risk a pause here. Okay, looked him up. It can do both. So, flip a coin or call both heads and tails. We'll see. We will see. It's not as strong a feeling as I had before, which makes me think it's not going to happen during the trial. I think it's going to be stuff that happens after the trial to him. Let's see, what else do I want to throw on here? I asked how the eclipse was going to impact the trial, how it's going to impact Donald, and his health, and a little clarifier on his health. What else can you tell me that's going to happen with the Empress just popped up? Taking care of yourself here. What's going to happen with Donald over the summer? Generally speaking, what's eclipse related? What's going to happen with Donald Trump over the summer? As we go from the summer solstice to the autumnal equinox. Working on his health. There's going to be a lot of health related stuff that needs to be addressed here. And there's that heart attack or that stroke. There's going to be a lot of doctor's visits and a lot of evaluations of what's going on with his health during that time frame. The moon card, we're not going to be told what's going on. It's going to be a mystery. They're not, again, dictators cannot message that they are not healthy. Unhealthy dictators die. That's what happens to unhealthy dictators. And Donald Trump's got the dictator mindset. That's why his doctors always say he's going to live for 200 years and they've never seen a healthier specimen. That type of thing. We will not know about it. It will not be revealed. Heck, a lot of people in the GOP aren't going to know about that. Six of Cups. Naivety. Nostalgia. I'm asking, what's he going to go through over the summer here? Oh, God, look. His health is really retreated. He's in bad shape. He is in really bad shape over the summer. Like health, I'm not going to recover from this. So if he was, running it like 90%, he might be down to 50%. And he's never going to get back up to 90%. It's like it just takes him down a peg or two. Again, we're not going to hear about this. This might, if it's like a stroke, it's going to make him more childlike and less capable of higher thoughts. Higher thoughts. I mean, like sophisticated thinking. Not that he's knocking our socks off with sophisticated thinking, but it's dumbed down even more. He might be that he's under 24-hour care, nursing care, or something along those lines. And in some ways, it's very emotional for him. because it's almost like, again, he's regressed. Didn't this card come up before? People celebrating. In some ways, I think it's going to delay some of his court cases while he undergoes these health issues. This could also just be us. If he's sick and he's working on his health and they're keeping a mystery, he's keeping a low profile. And if he's keeping a low profile, it's easier for Republicans, for Democrats to keep getting stuff done. There's like a celebration here. It's like we're getting this break from all this negativity. And then you've got all these ex-wives. I think that's how I read it before, is ex-wives all celebrating. Sorry, not to laugh at somebody's health issues here, but it's kind of hard to figure out what this is, that, people are celebrating this guy having a health problem. Lesson to be learned is the judgment. It's like he did, you know what it is? He did this to himself, maybe through vices that he, stuff that he abuses, shall we say, has led to this condition. And it's like, well, what did you think was going to happen? You keep abusing yourself and you keep abusing others and you abuse your body. This is just, mind, heart, and soul they're all corrupted. Outcome is the Seven of Coins. Yeah, I was mentioning about how his health is really not good. It's like he's knocked down to 50%. He might get back up to 70%. He'll never be at 100% again. Whatever happens to him, this really takes the starch out of his sails, or takes the wind out of his sails, and he's going to be under health supervision pretty much the rest of his life. This is not something where, you have one heart attack and then, you bounce back from that and you eat healthy and you exercise and you're on some, you have stents or something like that, or heart medication. And then you do all this, your cholesterol is back managed, your blood chemistry numbers look good, and you can be off all the heart medicines, and you're back to your normal life because you addressed it. That's not going to happen with this guy. He's going to be sick, and he's going to be sick, and he's going to be under doctor's care for the rest of his life. Okay. Spiritual lesson for Donald Trump with the outcomes of this eclipse. This will be an hour-long reading. Good heavens! But the cards are flying all over the place here. So last one: spiritual lesson for Donald Trump. What is the spiritual lesson for Donald Trump? To think, I jumped right into this one too. Not a whole lot of lead in with this reading here. The spiritual lesson for Donald Trump on all this. King of Pentacles. It's funny, you had all the money. What do they say? Without your health, you have nothing. Your most valuable thing is your health. He's had all the wealth in the world. He's never bothered to take care of his health. He could have enjoyed his whole life. This was like a one of those luxury leisure lives that he could have had here had he just done the stuff to take care of himself. But he did. He made choices. Burgers every day for the rest of his life. Not one green leafy vegetable ever passed his lips. Your choice. You want to live like that? That's fine. But here's the consequences of your choices. Basically, the consequences of your value choices have arrived. You have nobody to blame but yourself because you made all the choices. Nobody forced choices on you. You wanted to, and there's that Empress card. You wanted to drink from the cup of crazy. That's fine. You're allowed to. But you're going to suffer the consequences of it. Now, you are what you eat. You are what you drink. And that's it. You had the ability to live a long time. You were in the lap of luxury. You had everything brought to you. You had more than anything. Too much, but never enough. Low energy for the Empress is lazy and entitled. And that's what he chose. He chose a lazy lifestyle. He lived an entitled lifestyle. And that's fine. That was a life choice that he made. That's a free will choice he made. The thought that Donald Trump could have chosen a different lifestyle, one way more altruistic and less selfish, it would have been amazing to see what he could have done. He certainly can read a room and read people and get them to do stuff. He can get people to do stuff that they never believed that they could do. The problem is that he brings energy down, so they commit crime, like they never thought they would be able to do to please this guy. Can you imagine if he could have lifted them up to do good acts that they never realized that they were capable of doing? That'd be pretty amazing. Not this lifetime. We'll leave it here. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for your likes, shares, comments, everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so this video makes it out to a wider audience. To folks discovering my videos for the first time or recently, welcome to the channel. Glad you found us. Hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.